But what I really enjoyed in Season 2 were these flashbacks with Aiden. At first I was no fan of him because he was so angry and lectured Emily all the time. But with the flashbacks and their backstory as a love affair and bounding over the loss of their families, I really grew more and more fond of Aiden. In retrospect, I wished we had seen more flashbacks with the two instead of Takeda. I know he was introduced as this big mentor and mastermind behind her Revengender. But still Aiden was far more important for Amanda and clearly a more loyal and compassionate support.
Kyle, I will come back for you, I promise.
I've already lost everything. I'm not losing you too.
Meet me in the maze at midnight.
These two flashbacks were just fun. I wish we had seen more of stalking Emily in Season 1. 'Cause this one here with Daniel was really creepy. I mean, did she really study at his university just to study him? Or was she just pretending to be a student for the sake of being unnoticed and unrecognizable to him later? And I still wonder how the timeline is here. I mean, if it was not that long ago he would have recognized her. Anyway, it was fun that he obviously tried to charm her yet she remained cool. And also her look like these super nerdy college girls who pay no attention to their outward appearance in a fashion and stylish way. In contrast, the scene from Season 2 when she was on her mission for Takeda and played an escort lady. I like her shorter hairstyle and the really efficient and reserved aura around her. She really looks like a girl ready to do anything to reach her goals. And it was fun how she teased Aiden so effortlessly, as if it was nothing for her to toy with men.
Dobry wieczór.
Doesn't suit you.
What? The bow tie or the Russian accent?
Both.
Well, I'm your servant, so, what's your fancy, comrade?
Vodka.
Okay. All right. You didn't pay for your drinks.
Put it on Sergei's tab.
You don't know Sergei. You didn't speak to him. I watched you.
Keep your observations to yourself and there'll be a big tip in it for you the next time I see you.
And when will that be?
Tomorrow.
Oh,
I know who that is. I took Brit Lit last semester.
okay, listen. If the doors of perception were cleansed, everything would appear to man as it is. Infinite. Infinite freedom. That's what I want. I'm weighed down by my father's expectations, my mother's disapproving eye, but mostly by the world's perception of what it means to be a Grayson. I don't want to be limited by all that for the rest of my life.
Hey, study bug. Settle an argument for us. Do you know who this man is? Nope. He is poised to be one of the richest men in America. But he wants to throw all that away and become a penniless poet. Now, I think he's crazy. What do you think?
I think you should ask someone else.
Oh, no. I'm gonna ask you. I mean, I can't be who I am and a poet at the same time. My parents would never allow it.
You want people to see something different when they hear your last name? Make them see it. Be better than your parents. Ain't nothing more poetic than that.
This flashback is good and bad in two different ways. First, it was good to see more of that time in Emily's life when she was Takeda's student and still planned her revenge. Yet bad was that they never showed us specifics of her training and how she learned all those tactical and research stuff. I mean, yeah, she had to develop fighting skills as well. But I think manipulation techniques and learning how to mask your goals and shield your true identity were crucial for her plan. And another bad thing was the new Takeda. No offense to Kari Hiroyuki Tagawa, but he just had not the same level of energy and charisma around him like Hiroyuki Sanada. The thing that saved this particular flashback was Emily Van Camp's performance. Emily looks so fragile here when she finds out about Aiden's deception. And the flashbacks in this episode just gave the relationship of Emily and Aiden more depth.
Aiden?
He's gone. Your lover has left you behind.
I don't believe you. This is another one of your tests.
No test. Whether you believe it or not, he chose to leave you.
Of course, these flashbacks with the real Emily Thorne were my favorites in season 1. I really liked teenage Amanda with her bad attitude and rude behavior. And I definitely missed her in the later seasons. And I like that they show us a development here between Emily and Amanda. At first, she is just a means to an end, and Emily's friendship with Amanda is just fake. But later in season 2 we see how much Emily actually cares about Amanda and finally sees her as a sister. I think this was maybe the most intriguing relationship in Amanda's life. Because it was so complex with all those layers and different expectations Amanda had.
Amanda Clarke.
The way they've been talking about you, I expected someone bigger. Not afraid of me? You should be.
You obviously know who I am. Who are you?
Emily.
Emily what?
Emily Thorne.
You fight dirty. Your father teach you that, or was he too busy blowing up planes?
You're smarter than most of these girls, especially Emily Thorne.
Screw her.
Oh, you want to go up against the whole world, that's your business. But violence is a short-sighted solution when it really comes to handling your enemies. There's better ways to go about it, smarter ways.
Like what?
I'm thinking that all Emily is really looking for is a friend. You get her trust, and you have her work for you instead of against you. Or you can go about the rest of your life with a busted lip and a bloody nose.
Yeah. I'll be back for this. And I'll be back for you too. I promise.
We're sisters, right?
Right. I love you.
These flashbacks are of the reason why season 1 worked so good for me. Those little snippets from the David Clarke trial and getting to know more and more about the conspiracy. With every new target we get a new layer of the betrayal. Like it was in the original story by the Dumas, in which the conspiracy was revealed one by one with every new conspirator who went down. And I like the twist that Amanda is using old footage but also the newest technology to research the past of the Graysons and their conspirators.
Another shocking turn in the David Clarke treason trial came today as financial advisor Bill Harmon took the stand with searing testimony against his longtime friend and colleague, David Clarke. Harmon is just one in a long line of Grayson Global employees to detail Clarke's involvement in the deadly terrorist attack.
David Clarke had everyone fooled, including me. I'm just glad I can help put that monster away.
And what was the name of the organization you believe David Clarke was laundering money for? The same American initiative that claimed responsibility for blowing up Flight 197 last summer?
Yes.
Today, I am just grateful that justice prevailed, and that this terrible man has been held accountable for his crimes against the American people.
Even better worked the contrast with the calm and fairy tale-like flashbacks to the time before Amanda's childhood was destroyed. Especially these two set the perfect tone. First, the flashback from season 2 with David reading to Amanda with the fireplace in the background. And surely it was no mistake that they made this transition with Aidan at the fireplace in their secret hiding spot, covering Emily with a blanket like her father did in this little flashback. The other one, I think it was the only new from season 3, in which David and Amanda talk about her grandfather and the ring he gave David. The coloring of this scene is just so beautiful. And I love the idea that David sets a tradition with this infinity box.
It might afford her a world of comfort.
If only she dared to strike one.
It was a bright and wondrous flame, like a candle. She carefully warmed her hands over it. It was
A wonderful light.
Glad that you and Jack took the time to find it. It's an important ring.
Why?
My father gave it to me when I turned 18. Said that I should respect the fact that a name means a lot in this world. That's why my initials are on it.
I wish I would have met him.
He was a lot like you. Hated to be cooped up inside. Instead of the beach, he loved the woods. So much so that he even built a cabin. And we would go and spend our summers there. You know what? I think I'm gonna continue the family tradition. When you turn 18, I'm gonna give you something.
Speaking of contrast and coloring, this compilation from season 1 makes the most out of it. First, the really dark and cold colors of the van and Gordon Murphy's hiding spot. In contrast, this flashback from the beach with Amanda and David settling into the beach house. I also like the idea that the Graysons and all that happened to Amanda destroyed that part of Amanda's personality. I think the whole show is in some kind of quest to take back that innocence and positivity in her life. So I really enjoyed this little sequence with saving that bird and David's quote about Amanda.
What was that?
There's only one way to find out.
We did it, Daddy! We saved his life!
You know what I love about you most? Is the way you love. Absolutely everything and absolutely everyone. You promised me that you're never gonna lose that.
Most intriguing were the flashbacks with Victoria showing us her conflict. Especially with this one in which she first met David. Obviously Victoria is immediately attracted by David, but he seems also to like her. I love those scenes at the beach when Victoria seems gloomy but also happy. Like the calm before the storm. And they really did a great job in showing David's naivete and complete lack of suspicion about Victoria. They also convey this feeling of complete coziness and confidence in a bright future with the creme and white nuances. I loved her blue bathing suit, and David's blue shirts underlines the importance of loyalty and how Victoria and Conrad used his for their own advantage.
Hi, I'm David Clarke. I work with your husband.
Happy New Year, Mr. Clarke. How's it we haven't met before?
David's not much for parties.
Perhaps if you acquired shares in that mentality, your star would be rising as fast as David's. David just moved into the beach house next door.
Oh, so you're the one. Well, welcome to the neighborhood. It's a beautiful property.
Well, it will be eventually. Needs work. But I'm afraid all I could afford was a fixer. But it felt right.
Felt. How refreshing. As I understand it, we only buy properties if the tax incentives work for us. Well, enjoy yourself tonight.
Thank you. Oh, hello again. I was looking for your husband. I didn't want to leave without saying thank you.
Well, I haven't seen him. Why'd you come in?
Okay, well, I guess I will say thank you to you. That was a lovely evening.
Well, it's snowing outside. Could I offer you some insulation from the cold?
Thank you, but I was hoping to get home in time to watch the ball drop with my daughter.
Oh, well, that's very important.
It's amazing how much you miss them, isn't it?
Why don't you come over for brunch tomorrow? I'd love to meet the whole family.
Ah, well, it's just me and Amanda now. My wife is not with us anymore.
I'm so sorry. No one should ever have to spend the holidays grieving.
Thank you. I got you something.
I love them.
Hey, you promise me when you wear them that you think of me.
Always.
God, you're so beautiful. You know, my aunt, Charlotte, has a farm in Kansas, 50 acres. We could pack our bags and leave tonight.
I can't leave Daniel with Conrad.
Well, we can pack 2 bags. Bring the kids with us. Besides, when Conrad finds out about us, I'm gonna be finished on Wall Street. I'm gonna be packing my bags regardless.
That's why no one can find out about us, David. I've lived that life before, and I can't live it again.
Well, what about love? Can you live without that? I spoke to Conrad earlier today. He seemed extra tense.
I think he knows what's coming. I've sent Daniel to his grandmother's for the weekend so I can finally put an end to it.
Wow. This is really happening then?
Yes.
Come over after. You can finally meet Amanda. More importantly, she can finally meet you.
I'll call you when I'm on my way. 9 o'clock?
Okay.
David? I love you.
I love you too.
The next two are again with Emily's targets. Yet these two stand out because they have a backstory with little Amanda Clarke. First, Michelle Banks, the psychiatrist who looked Amanda up in the first place for Victoria's sake. She surely was the reason why Amanda turned out to be this cold and distrustful, always assuming the worst of people. Then there was Mason Treadwell, who again had the chance to change Amanda's future and again deceived her by publishing that book and not standing up towards the Graysons but colluding with them.
I'm a journalist. How do you like it here, Amanda?
Sometimes bad things happen to good people.
Indeed. I'm here because your father says he's innocent, that he didn't do what they're saying.
They proved it in court.
Courts have been known to make mistakes. Do you think they made a mistake, Amanda?
I have to say he's guilty. But they'll put me away, just like him.
I am not gonna let that happen.
Keep this here where they can't find it. I don't think he did it.
I don't either. How'd you like to help me rescue your father?
I promise to be good. Will you please let me see my dad?
No. Because you'd only be pretending to be good. Just like your dad pretended to be a good father.
He was a good father.
You know the truth.
Please don't leave me in here. I promise I'll be a good girl.
You just be pretending. People who aren't who they claim to be, Amanda, are very, very dangerous. You would be wise to remember that.
No.
You know the truth. What did he do?
He hurt people.
Go on.
He killed people. And he lied.
Good girl. You would be wise to remember that.
No. Please don't let me in here, please.
I asked you to draw something different today. This is another picture of you and your father.
Take me to see him and I'll draw anything you want.
You know you will never see that man again. Tell me why.
Because they took him away.
Because he hurt people. Because he killed people.
That's a lie. They did it.
There is no they, Amanda. If you don't stop challenging me on this, you might wind up spending the rest of your childhood in this place. Is that what you want?
I want to see my daddy.